What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Pro Bro Wrestling Podcast. We are your host. I'm Arnold Telega Arda.
And I am the Suntan Superman, Mr. No Days Off. Season 2, 3 are we on Pro Bro Wrestling? Arnold, what's the deal?
I want to say we're still on season 2 because this is still our second year, man. But, it feels like we've been doing this in a good way. I don't mean this in a bad way. I feel like we've been doing this for like 3 years, don't you think?
Yeah, I feel
Maybe
like
it's from all the places I've moved.
Yeah, definitely. It feels like 3 years. Yeah, man, it's good to hear myself talk and get in this therapy session because that's what it's all about, a therapy session with my bro.
This is super, super fun for us because we haven't done an episode like this before. We've always talked about doing something like this early in the beginning of this show. We're like, hey, some episodes we should play games. And I think this is a game that I'm really, really excited about because as we know, as wrestling fans, entrance music or theme music is really, really important to a wrestler's character and also to the wrestler's performance. You got to have a music that amps you up and that gets you ready, but at the same time, makes the fans feel a certain way when you come out. I figured today it would be fun to talk about our favorite top 5 entrance music and also our top 5 that we think is an underrated entrance music. And I also want to quiz you on some music to see if you know who it is. What do you think?
Oh, that sounds great. I definitely want to knock out the quizzing. I think I got this. I got this in the bag.
Who was your most memorable wrestlers who had the best theme music?
I mean, I think our answers will be kind of similar on some of them.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels, like Shawn Michaels, Heartbreak Kid. The evolution of that theme song started off with like Scary Sherry, So.
Oh man, yeah. I remember first time I saw Shawn was 95, and then I watched like an old video from Blockbuster of him, I think probably 94, 93, when he first came out as a Heartbreak Kid, and Sherry was singing it, and I was like, wait a minute. There was like an older version of this?
Yeah, and the thing about Sherry, hearing stories about her, like she was just well loved, She was a pioneer when it came to women's wrestling and women's entertainment. But Shawn Michaels' theme, at 37, going to be 38 November 2nd, I still hum it. I still hum it out. And I still have moments, even at 37, where, and I've been on that kick where I just listen to a bunch of wrestling theme songs, It happens it probably happens for me every couple of years, not all the time, but every couple of years, I just rock out to all the theme songs, and Shawn Michaels is probably number one for me. I mean, playing with action figures, that's what would be my theme song, for some of the guys coming to the ring. That's how I would always do it. I remember playing with action figures and like humming the wrestlers' themes.
Absolutely, man. Well, I think our list is looking identical right now because also my top one is Shawn Michaels. You know this about me. I am a big Shawn Michaels fan, favorite wrestler of all time, and one of the reasons why I gravitated towards him is because I wanted to be like him, man. Like he was just the coolest dude. He had so much swagger, especially 96, 97, 98. I wanted to have long hair, and he just, I don't know, man. He just gives off, especially in his entrance music, he seems like a real person. Just like his performance as a wrestler, he makes it real. Not only is his selling top notch, but his character work is top notch as well. Because when that music hits and Shawn Michaels comes out, you don't think of like, oh, gimmick Isaac Yankem DDS coming out as a dentist. You just see a guy that that this is his 9 to 5 and he goes in, it clocks in, wrestles guys, bigger guys, and who does his best and then clocks out. You believe him as a person. And I feel that music of just a sexy boy, and it has so much swagger, and I can't do it anymore, but as a kid, I knew his every move going into
Me
the ring.
too.
Like the way he would go to the rope and does a little bit of that, and then he goes in, he does that. I nailed it down to a T. I can't do it anymore, but I used to nail it down to a T. So
I
Shawn
can
Michaels
do
for sure.
I can do the entrance. I can do the sell.
Yes.
I can do the, you know, at the end of the match when he's like Superman, the fire up, get the people
Yeah.
rocking and rolling. I still mirror that, and I've done it so much that it's like embedded in me. So, I mean, I don't know if you've seen some recent footage of Shawn Michaels. I forget where I had seen it from. Like he's got a like stretching routine.
I saw that. I saw that
You
on
saw
YouTube.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad we're on the same page with that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, I'm glad at his age that he's got a routine. Even for
Yeah.
me, 19 years doing this, I have a routine. And knock on wood, I'm not hurt or anything. But
Yeah.
it's all for me. It's for preventative, measures. So I'm not beat up or hurt when my career is ultimately complete.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad that someone like Shawn Michaels has a regimen. I'd love to see him back in the ring, though. Don't we all?
Don't we all, man? Who's your number two?
I'd have to say Razor Ramon.
Oh,
It's
yes.
just like, you just hear it. You just hear it. And I wanted to do this, doing the themes. I wish we could
Yeah.
have played them so we could vibe out to it.
Hmm.
But Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. Dun,
Yes.
dun,
Absolutely.
dun, 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 dun. So like for me and eventually I'll post it on Twitter. I'll make a confession. I'll make the confession here on Pro and Bro Wrestling, but I'll definitely make it on social media about how I've been on a kick with Chris Jericho's theme song from AEW, and I literally have it playing going into the gym, and I like as it's playing, you know how Jericho does his entrance, dun, 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 dun. He's just looking around, just looking around at the crowd, and that's exactly what I do in the gym. As soon as I walk in, the music's playing in my ear, Judas in my mind, and I have that slow walk to the cardio section, So same thing with Scott Hall. I had that swag. And I say that that's how I like to be going to the airport. I don't like rushing. I like being to the airport a little bit early so I can just like have that walk in the airport because I
Yeah.
know, look at me, all eyes on
The
me,
surfer
baby.
walk.
Yes, yes, bro. I'm very smooth, so people can look and be like, wow, that's somebody. I don't know who it is, but it's somebody. So I like to have that Razor Ramon swag.
This is something I've always thought about. Don't you think that they use Razor Ramon's entrance theme as a sample for Stone Cold's entrance theme? Hear me out. This is how Razor sounds like. It goes dun 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 dun. And all Austin has is the glass shatter. Dun 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 dun. It's the same thing. Like listen to
Yeah.
after this, listen to Razor and listen to Austin. It's the same thing.
Well, Jim Johnson, probably the creator of all these theme songs, he's a masterpiece. He's
Yeah.
created some iconic themes, man. So yeah, that and you got to have something that, for me, I can't. I've had something upbeat uh, in the past with WWE, but I need something that I can walk out to, something I
Yeah.
can feel. Like we how we thought about this episode was how you just loved my theme song, No Days Off. And yeah, man, I've listened to it enough where, like, our recent New Japan Pro Wrestling show, they were like testing the music and they were really testing mine a lot. And before the crowd came in, you hear it loud, LA Coliseum. And like, when they were testing my music, they tested it like twice. And like the first time they did it, I got like chills throughout my entire body. Like, wow, like the bass. And like, I don't walk out fast anymore. Like, no, that's not me. I like to have that slow approach. I like to mirror the great Muda. You watch him, he's slow, 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 and then he's explosive. I mentioned it on the podcast. So, yeah, we need something to rock out to, something that gets us fired up. And you said that it's one of your all-time favorites.
I'm not just saying that because you're here, but I swear, man, like when I heard your song, it jumped to like my number 2 favorite because when I listen to it, I feel like I'm watching like a trailer of an inspirational football movie, you know, where like the underdog team who's been losing the whole season got a new coach. I don't know. I just get that vibe in my head, and like, you know, the coach is like pumping them up to win the championship, and I love that how it goes. Oh, oh. I think that part gets me even before the rap verse starts. It already sets the mood. And I kind of like how you have the whole like it's time to go to work like type of thing. It kind of reminds me of back of The Rock's music when he keeps on going. The Rock says, the Rock, you know, constantly have your voice throughout. That's really cool.
Well, my voice isn't throughout, but it's in the beginning, and
Yeah.
that's exactly where. That's why we're bros, man. That's exactly where I stole it from. You smell what the Rock is cooking, and
Yeah.
then his shit hits. You know, for
Yeah.
me, I need it. I say it all the time. You know, if I'm lost, I go right back to that. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. You know, and that's something that like can everyone can respond to. You know, we all have a grind and hustle, and Mr. No Days Off for me isn't a gimmick. It's a way of life. You know, constant grind, struggle, and hustle.
Yeah.
And it's for everyone to mirror. You know, your beautiful wife, Heart. Everyone's doing it. No days off.
Yeah.
So definitely in the future we can have the creator um, of No Days Off. Actually, the person who sings it is actually Tarver.
Yeah.
Iron Mike Tarver from the Nexus. He did all of the lyrics, man, and it really hits home. You know, it starts off. Been Some of the verses are been through enough hells, heard enough bells, been in many rings. I survived many things. I came out and then proceeded to change the game. I will circle in the ring, and it won't remain the same. You know, so it's just like something that really hits home. You know, so yeah, I love it. I love it.
Did you kind of give him bullet points of what you want him to hit or certain
Yeah,
phrases that you want him to hit?
exactly. Certain phrases and all that stuff. And he was able to create some magic, and I love it, man. I love it.
I love it. Yeah, like I said before, it's my number 2 favorite. It has the same swagger. It gives you the same like pumped up feeling. You feel good about it as you're going to the ring. It's really cool, man. So far, it feels like we have the same list, right? Shawn Michaels, your entrance theme. Who's third for you? Oh no, sorry, yours is Razor. My bad. So
Yeah.
yours is Shawn Michaels, Razor, and for me is Shawn Michaels, you. And are you saying your third one is you? Is that what you're saying?
Oh no, no. I was just saying that's how this whole episode kind of came about how the last time we talked, you were really loving my new theme
Yes,
song,
yes, you're right.
and
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
yeah, you know, we should definitely do an episode, uh, you know, on our favorites.
Yeah. Okay, so with that said, who's your third favorite?
I'd have to say Dave Batista for me.
Oh, good one.
For me, it's just like he's got that swag to it, and then he hits it at the right time with the pyro, and then his music kicks on. I love it. I love it. He's got swag to it. He doesn't come out too fast, too slow. Yeah, I'd have to say Dave Batista.
Yeah, and I like you said, his pyro is really cool, and you like that part, but I like the machine gun,
Oh yeah.
before that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
different.
It's that whole routine. I love it. I love it. He's got so much attitude with it.
Yeah. And do you remember his last prime run in WWE as a heel before he went away for the first time? He kind of had that music, but he had the spotlight effect to it. You like when he became like super Hollywood, so the
Yes.
whole arena would be black and it'd just be a spotlight on him as he's walking towards the ring. That played a cool effect.
Yeah. What? He didn't have any theme song then?
He did. He still had the same theme song, but now he's like big time, you know. So
Yeah.
he had the shades, and then everyone is just dark and literally just one spotlight on him as he's walking towards the ring.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just, uh, just the attitude behind it,
Yeah,
he's like a more relaxed Ultimate Warrior, So,
true.
uh,
You're right.
yeah, number three, Dave Batista.
So for me, number three, Degeneration X.
Oh yeah.
They get you with the first three words. The whole "Are you ready?" Bump bump. It has a kind of slow build to it, and then it goes the break it down. Dun 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 dun. I remember the first time I heard it in '98 was the first time they came out to it actually on Raw with Ravishing Rick Rude, Hunter, and China, and I believe they debuted that music the night after the Montreal Screwjob. And the first time we actually heard it, um, Shawn wasn't even in the entrance. At first, it was Ravishing Rick Rude, Hunter, and China coming out to the DX music. And I remember, I don't know, maybe Jim Ross or Michael Cole was like, oh, like, I don't know if they even like addressed the music. But anyways, those three came out and they introduced Shawn as the new world champion. And then they hit the same music again. And in Shawn's promo, he mentioned like, oh, Degeneration X has friends in the music business or something like that, so, acknowledging that they have a new song. And I remember thinking like, man, that is a perfect song for them, because at this point, Shawn Michaels is no longer the baby face, like jolly wrestler, and Hunter's also no more, he's not the blue blood anymore. So I felt like this music sets the tone for their new characters. And man, it's just really good. Like I really loved it. And I enjoy the Titantron too, because it would flash you a Titantron in real time. Titantron in real time. And what's crazy, even with the whole the
Do
name,
we see that? Do we see that a lot anymore? Do we see that a lot with any characters? I can't think of any.
I don't think they do that, but the only thing that I could think of that's somewhat close to that is, I don't know if you've seen it, but Mandy Rose, when she comes out, it's not really that, but they put like a filter on her as she's coming out. It's like it's a different filter. So maybe that's the closest thing to it. But I think it's just crazy because back in '98, man, the name Degeneration X were rebels, right? They were the young rebels, Generation X. And now they're Gen Zs. Gen Zs, they're old, you know? Gen Z, like Generation X feels such a long time ago. Now they're like, they're up there with baby boomers to them. But at the time, man, Generation X was like the rebels, right? Like late 90s. Shawn was like 32 at the time, younger than me, younger than you.
Wow.
It's crazy, man. And Hunter was like, what, 27 at the time, man? Isn't that nuts? They're babies.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one theme song that I love to hear live too,
Yeah.
Any of the big WrestleManias, that's another favorite part of mine. Like, who's gonna like play someone's theme song out live? Whoever created it. So that theme song, I believe, at WrestleMania 13, Austin Shawn with Tyson as the special enforcer. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I think DX came out to the creators of it.
Mm-hmm.
Even Triple H's theme by Motorhead, anytime he came out to then playing, it's always really cool to see it played live.
Yeah, really, really cool. Yeah, you're right. I think they were the first ones to do it, right?
Um, yeah, I'm
98?
not sure.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
might have been, I think.
yeah, that's that's an interesting fact. Yeah, yeah, I'm not sure.
Because then afterwards, like you said, Triple H, Motorhead, Ronda Rousey came out with her live music. Forgot the artist's name, but yeah, that was a really cool entrance. And yeah, I think at that time, like wrestlers didn't really have, like WrestleMania 14 and prior, wrestlers didn't really have crazy unique entrances. They still would come out like it's their match on Raw. Like nothing would be too different. Um, besides maybe their gear. But yeah, that was special. So who's your fourth?
I'm going to have to say Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner.
Caller, if you hear me. And it wasn't
Yeah,
it a
it's just
siren?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. Back in WCW, even when he came back to WWE, he just had so much swag with it. He's always posing. He's always checking his biceps, and yeah, the siren man, really, really. And I think probably even up until my early teens, I think I played with the action figures,
Yeah,
uh,
me too.
and and it's like I would use like those theme songs that I would hear, like '98. He was definitely using it. So yeah, that's something that would definitely get me hyped.
Speaking of action figures, when I was a kid, I would actually use my laptop and have the laptop screen as their Titantron entrance, and I would get a black construction paper, cover up the keyboard. So, they had their own like little huge WrestleMania entrance, and of course I had the ring and everything. But yeah,
Well, I,
those were good times.
shoot, I guess I was poor then. I didn't
Stop
have a
it.
laptop to
Stop
you to to, to use as a Titantron.
it. Or you could have used a TV. That works, right? A little bit.
Yeah, but we mentioned Scott Steiner. You know, his nephew is one of. Sorry to get sidetracked,
No,
but
you're good.
his nephew sounds just like him. You know,
Yeah.
he looks like his dad, Rick Steiner. He sounds like his uncle. If I was a writer, I'd let him go off script, and just like his uncle Scott Steiner, I'd have him go off script, say whatever he wants, bleep his stuff out, and he's gonna be hired in Austin.
Yeah.
He's healthy, he's young. He just stopped playing football less than a year ago, maybe, and now he's doing this thing with NXT. So yeah, he's definitely got a ton of potential.
He does, man. And I'm not sure why WWE's not capitalizing on the Steiner name, but who knows? Like,
Yeah, I think the reason why is like because um, they wanna they wanna own the name. You know what I mean? You know, you get built up so much that like you can you can you can venture off somewhere else, and become a bigger star. So
yeah,
yeah, it's very weird that some people can keep their name and some people um, have to go by their name. But yeah, it's
yeah,
crazy. I don't like it.
yeah. Me neither, man. Um, my fourth would have to be "Don't Turn Your Back on the Wolf Pack." Red and black attack. I love that.
Yeah,
That's so much swagger. With
yeah.
K-Dog walking out, Kevin Nash, Luger, Kurt Hennig, Macho Man. Man, that was some good times.
Virgil. Yeah, Virgil was in it.
Virgil was in the Wolfpack?
Oh, I'm sorry. He was in the
Yeah,
NWO.
he was in NWO. Yeah, yeah. I was gonna
I'm
say, man, I
sorry.
remember seeing him there. But
Yeah,
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 I just love how it starts too with the oh dun 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 dun. It's
yeah.
very late '90s gangster rap, and I remember like Kevin Nash during an interview saying at that time, man, he's like saying, man, at that time I was my early 40s, but I was dressing up like Tupac because at that time, like West Coast gangster music was really in, and I wanted to capitalize on that. And he's out here hanging out, partying with Rey Mysterio, Conan, and he just got into the culture. And so he would wear the Tupac bandana, and yeah, I mean, he pulled it off, man. He acted the part, and yeah, that music had a lot of swagger. I loved it.
Now that you mention all that, if like the wrestling industry had a school, he would have to be professor. He would have to be. He would have to be one of the professors because his mind. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
people start wrestling and they want to just wrestle. They want to just do the moves and all that
yeah,
stuff. They want to
yeah.
flip, and all that stuff's important. But not to toot my own horn. If you go watch my stuff back from New Japan that I've been doing,
Mm,
for me, it's my best storytelling 101 at its best. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like it's like the look, the pace. Scott Hall is one of the best when it comes to story.
Yeah.
What kind of what's popular nowadays. That I can kind of steal from and paraphrase and make it my own. And he's one of the best, man. He's one of the best. I know I've mentioned it on our podcast about how anytime I'm at a convention with him, we're both running over to one another to just show each other so much love. So
Yeah.
yeah, he if wrestling had a university, he'd have to be a professor.
Speaking of coaches, did you happen to watch Seth Rollins on the Broken Skull sessions?
No, no, I didn't.
It was really interesting because he told the story about one time when he was about to go into WWE. So he got an offer from TNA. And at that time, Terry Taylor was in charge of talent relations. And so TNA gave him the first offer. And then he was kind of like, yeah, it's better than what I'm making now. But then later on, WWE also gave him an offer. Well, actually, no. He was waiting on WWE's response. So while Terry Taylor from TNA Wrestling was kind of like, "Hey, man, sign the contract," but at the whole time, Seth was holding out because he was waiting for WWE's response. And to make a long story short, WWE responded, and then he signed with WWE. But later on, while he was training with WWE, Terry Taylor got signed to WWE as a coach. And Seth was like saying that he had heat with Terry because he feels like Terry was still holding a grudge of the time that he left him hanging during the TNA signing. And during Terry's class, he said that Terry still thought of old school wrestling, still the same old mindset. And Seth told Stone Cold that I would constantly give him a hard time, but not out of like hatred or anger. I just thought what he was teaching was outdated. So he would say things, and I would say things like, "But why? Like, well, why would you like little things like that?" He would always question everything Terry suggested, and it got to the point that I guess Triple H saw it, and this is before NXT champion Seth Rollins Triple H relationship. Triple H pulled Seth aside, and Triple H was like, "Hey, listen, you have to play ball. Like, you have to be a part of this team. To be honest with you, I don't see anything special in you. So if you're gonna continue to do this, you might as well just leave." And Seth was like, "Oh crap, I might lose my WWE opportunity, over this. So I might just have to suck it up and like do things his way." But then he remembered what Dusty told him, and that Dusty said, "Hey, don't listen to any of that. Just be yourself. Like, be yourself, but find ways, like find moments to be yourself. Try to work around what they're telling you, but still don't lose what makes you you." So that's what he did, and I just thought that was a really fun story that Seth told.
Yeah, I mean, he's spot on. He's spot on with that. All the parties,
Yeah.
Triple H, Terry, Dusty. Um, Terry Taylor and Triple H, they go way back in
Yeah, that's what Seth said
WCW,
too. Yeah.
they go way back when he was the terrorizing, he was new in WCW, and Terry Taylor was someone who was in it,
Yeah.
and Terry took him under his wing, and you don't forget people that treated you at the bottom, because someday
Yeah.
you're going to see them at the top, and that's how I live my life.
Mhm.
I'm very happy with my position. I didn't burn any bridges or anything like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a pretty cool story. I was lucky enough to be under Dr. Tom Pritchard, Norman Smiley, Billy Kidman, um, Dusty. Those were the coaches for me in developmental, and soon after they were with Seth too.
Yeah. Yeah. With that said, who is your fifth favorite?
I'd have to say Kurt Angle because
Love it.
he's my favorite wrestler, and just the base. I had the opportunity to, and I'll never forget to uh, back in the day when I was an extra with WWE, I got to carry his medals
Mm,
several times, you know, and they were
mm.
his real medals. And
Were they?
he's, yeah,
Wow.
they were his real medals. And he said that, I remember him saying that I want him to hold it because I trust him. And I'll never forget that, man. So just being able to come out to his music, the place would erupt, man.
Yeah.
Erupt, and the chants "You suck." I remember it like it was yesterday when him and Shawn Michaels were feuding. I know we've talked about it on the podcast, and leading up to it, the week before WrestleMania, that's when Shawn Michaels was dressed up as the cameraman, and
Yeah.
Kurt Angle was doing his invitational challenge, and the guy that came out to challenge Kurt was covered up. Kurt thought it was Shawn Michaels. He took the guy's hood off, and like he started jaw jacking, and as Kurt was jaw jacking with the local that was in the ring, Shawn Michaels was in the ring as a camera guy, and he started taking off his stuff, and boom, 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 boom. It was just chaos, and yeah, his theme song. I just always a big fan. Always a big fan. Rock the building.
Speaking of Kurt Angle, I was listening to his last episode on his podcast, and they went over him and Conrad Thompson talked about his feud with Shawn Michaels, and
I've been listening. I've been listening to that too.
it's great,
If
huh?
I've been listening, if I've been listening to anything, it's been Kurt Angle and Conrad.
And one of the funny moments that I thought was pretty funny was I think Conrad asked him like, "Oh, at that time, like I feel like Shawn was hanging on to his long hair, his long hair kind of overstayed his welcome, huh? Because he was already like balding." And Kurt Angle was like, "Yeah, at that I felt really bad. You know, I thought like Shawn should have shaved his head at the time, and I felt he was hanging on to that long hair for his dear life. But I understand that it was part of his character. I just thought that was funny, but." As a Kurt Angle fan, did you like it when Kurt Angle went to ECW and became the wrestling machine? And I don't know if you noticed this, but to take him more seriously, his entrance music, they took out the "You suck" part, so fans can't chant along with that. So it would just be the other parts. Did you also like that version?
Yeah, I loved all the versions. All the versions when he was in ECW. Just his intensity, and that's something that, like, if I don't train the way I train, I wouldn't be able to perform as good as I do now with
Yeah,
New Japan. So you got to have that intensity, especially if you're going 20 minutes hard. Like at the end, like 19 minutes, 20 minutes over, you have to have even more intensity. So when I train, I train at 140.
yeah,
So when I get in the ring, it's easy. I can play in the
mm,
ring. I can improvise. I can just have fun.
yeah.
So conditioning is key. So Kurt Angle, when he's just firing up, when he comes to the ring, and the music is just playing, and the people are chanting, "You suck!" The place is rocking.
Yeah, yeah, really, really cool. For me, it would have to be my last favorite is the Usos' first music. Not the one right now, but when they would do their tribal dance and it goes to the
Yeah.
rap part where it goes, "I won't stop." Nah, 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 nah. I don't know the words, but I just feel like it has a nice like chill flow to it. And you kind of like get to groove a little bit when you
Yeah.
walk to the ring, and I love it, man. It kind of gives me this. I feel like if I were to be a wrestler, I would want that kind of music coming into the ring too. Something so a music that can help me get amped up, but also have a little swagger at the same time.
Yeah, just the evolution of those guys, has been incredible. Them them being with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, I just love it. I love
Yeah,
Roman's theme now.
yeah, me too.
How it's like it's got that for me. It's got that rock feel, that really heel rock
Yep.
theme that's slow. You need
Hmm.
something slow. Imagine if he came out to Doink the Clown. Dun, 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 come on.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't come out to that.
yeah,
But yeah, the evolution of the Usos, that's definitely a dynamite pick.
yeah. Absolutely, man. So those are our top five. I know I didn't talk to you about this before, but I have a top 5, my personal top 5 music that's underrated. That I'm sure if you're a fan of the Attitude Era or just a long time wrestling fan in general, these music will resonate with you. It will create flashbacks of some type of memories for you, but they're not quote unquote main eventers. For me, a really good entrance music that I thought this person had was the first one is Dilo Brown. You're looking at the real deal now.
Yes.
I love this music.
That should have been on the list, man. That should have definitely been on the list. I mean, I just with this, it was just there's so many great themes. You know what I mean? Dilo Brown is definitely underrated.
Like the rap part was so good too. Like little lines like "back to back, your ass is dead meat. Here's your receipt." There's like things like that. But at the time, I didn't get what that meant. But now I know it's a wrestling term, the whole receipt part. But man, I remember when he first came out as a solo superstar, when he broke out of the Nation Domination, I was like, damn, he's a really great worker. You know, at that time, I didn't know what to label him as. Like, you know, I didn't even know what the term worker was. But I love him going for the IC title. I love him going for the European title. And he was losing weight at that time.
Yes,
like he was like slimming down. He took off the chest pad, and you know, he was doing really, really good. And at that time, I thought what slowed his momentum was when he started partnering with one of the headbangers. You know, even though I did like the look, I appreciated the change. I think Dilo didn't need that because I felt like he was already doing pretty good by himself. And yeah, man, like that music pumps me up. I like it.
And I don't know if you've ever met Dilo, but he's a big dude, man. He's like,
yeah, bigger. I know.
He's big. Yeah, he's big, of course, now. But like height wise, you know what I mean?
Height wise, okay.
And even just backstage, he still has that forward lean, you know, like that forward lean, man. It's just, yeah, you know, he's got. I mean, it's very toned down when he's backstage, but he's got that. He's still got that swag.
Yeah.
And like you said, solid worker. You know, I'm not anyone to judge. I see the best in everyone. You know, the first wrestler I ever met was Louis Spicoli, who was, I believe, Zip with the Body Donnas. Remember back in the day?
Wow.
Louis Spicoli. He was like the first wrestler I ever met, and I showed him unbelievable respect. So
I used to love Dilo's leg drop when he goes.
Yeah.
And then he drops the leg. That was fun. I don't know what that meant, but it was great. I loved it.
No, whatever it was, when like he lowered the boom, it wasn't nothing that looked hokey. You know, he put on the show and he dropped that leg quick. He snapped into it. That's something I love to do. Like if Minoru Suzuki was the last wrestler I wrestled, I was dropping legs and stomping on hands, you know. So you got to put a snap into it, and Dilo always did it.
And someone who also does a unique leg drop is also X-Pac, right? He does that little quick boom.
Well, like he might deliver something, the guy falls, and then he'll hit the ropes real quick, and then he'll like almost like a baseball slide and do that. I can do that with no problem, and it looks vicious. I used to love that.
Yeah.
X-Pac and Dilo leg drops.
Yeah. Another one for me that's underrated is I'm an ass man. Bump, bump. Yes, I'm an ass man. Bump, bump. You know, no disrespect to Billy. Like, I mean this in a good way because I looked up to Shawn Michaels, but to me, it felt like a version of Shawn Michaels' Sexy Boy, right? Because Billy, like, he said it himself, like he felt like he wanted to be the bigger version of Shawn Michaels. He copied Shawn Michaels in a lot of ways with the swagger, like, you know, when he would wear those crop tops, the way he cut off his shirts and little things when he would wait for his opponent. He'll be on the ring post like this with his leg up. That's a Shawn Michaels thing. So yeah, that music kind of gave him the attitude to walk out and kind of like dance like a little bit, just like Shawn. And when Shawn was out of the business in '98, Billy replaced him for me. Like, I was like, all right, Billy's my guy now. You know, like he's not as, in my opinion, not as cool as Shawn, but you know, he had the long hair. He had the little like flamboyant, like, you know, like ladies love him type of swagger. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll rock with Billy now. No pun intended. But yeah, Billy, I love that music, man. And I enjoyed his feud with Ken Shamrock, with Big Boss Man. It kind of reminded me of Shawn Michaels' feud for the IC title with Jeff Jarrett when he was coming up in the business.
Yes.
And yeah, I enjoyed him with Road Dogg, but I did enjoy him by himself. And I was really excited that he won the 1999 King of the Ring. But he jokes around about it now that he feels like WWE doesn't acknowledge him as much as King of the Ring, because every time they have a montage, they would leave Billy out. But yeah, man, he was great.
Yeah.
Okay, this one, I think it's so smart. This entrance music. Not a lot of people remember this, but you remember this one? Test. This is a test. Test.
Oh yeah.
This is a test.
Yeah.
That's clever, right? His name was Test, and I felt like that was the perfect theme music for him.
Perfect. You know, again, you gotta walk out to your own beat, and yeah, that's definitely an underrated one. And you can just, for some reason, like these themes that you're mentioning, I feel like I was humming them out when I was like playing with my action.
Yeah.
So it was just easy to just emulate.
Yeah. And man, Tess had a good run too, a great singles run, a great run with the Stephanie Triple H storyline. I loved him. He was a great worker. The fans were behind him. I just felt like during the Attitude Era, top to bottom, everyone was over. You know, whether it's the beginning of the night, like, you know, beginning of the card till the main event, everyone cared about everyone's match, from, you know, Al Snow versus Mick Foley all the way to the triple threat with Rock, Austin, Taker, or whatever. Like every match people cared about, which is really such a unique time in wrestling. But yeah,
but for me now in 2021, to be really over and to really evolve, to have the audience, you hear me, have the audience sing your theme, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like,
made it.
That's never been done until, I believe, Chris Jericho.
Yeah, man.
Shawn Michaels, I've heard the people, I think overseas, I remember, did you see that clip one
NXT
time overseas?
Yeah.
Yes. And I have that saved in my favorites because, again, he's still our favorites, you know? So just to hear people sing your song back. So I hope, and the goal is for people to sing my song, you know what I mean? To play it enough and to people to get behind it. Again, you know, you gotta try, you know what I mean? You gotta, if you don't try, you won't know. But like Shawn Michaels' theme, Chris Jericho's new theme, CM Punk, had they sung his theme song?
Yeah, I think I hear some people, like, it goes to, I've seen some people singing it. Look in my eyes, what do you see? But not as loud as Chris Jericho's, you know.
He doesn't even need to come out to it, you know. That's what like just blows my mind about how good he is, you know. So when you watch him, man, I say to myself, man, I want to be like him, you know what I mean? In my own way. I want to work hard just like him, you know. He's in these other projects and stuff like that. I want to do the same thing, you know. I want to have that swag, that confidence, that OG confidence coming to the ring. And that's what I do, man. That's what I do. Like, like I said, I've mentioned it in interviews. I'm like the Black Randy Orton, you know what I mean? But I do it myself, that slow approach, getting into the ring, you know, just getting into the ring like an old man. But like, as soon as I get in the ring, as soon as I start moving, I'm just like lightning fast, you know, like, you know, it's just like, I just love it.
Another one for me that was really memorable is we actually had him as a guest, but it goes like this.
Yes.
Once you hear that, man, everyone knows that it's party time.
I forget where I saw it, but yeah, that was. I think he mentioned something about like he would always be on earlier in the show or something like that, and he said it would be the loudest pop of the night. You
Yes,
know what I
yeah.
mean? The loudest pop of the night, and he said he didn't do much. You know,
He said he
uh,
got that pop twice every night because the music hits, big pop. He comes out, no hose. He gets booed, and he's like, all right, come on out. And then the second pop of the night. It's great.
that's another guy that if there was a wrestling university, he should be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So you have Scott Hall and you have the Godfather.
Oh man,
Godfather,
so much
the
knowledge.
evolution. Yeah, so much knowledge and the evolution, how to stay current. You know what I mean? And that's very key. You know, and like 19 years, I get it now. You know, starting off, you just like the pedal is on the gas and you're just
Yeah,
going. You know,
yeah.
but yeah, the evolution of the Godfather, the evolution of Chris Jericho. Yeah, these guys have been around so long that you got to keep it fresh.
Absolutely, man. It's so true. And he's such an artist, with everything that he does, like all the little things that he puts into his character, and he does his own makeup for
Yeah.
Papa Shango. It's really cool. Um, okay, the last one for me, he only used it maybe twice in his career, but it's The Rock with Method Man.
Oh, I've heard that before. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I love that. I love Method Man's verse. I think it goes like, "Oh, finally, The Rock has come back, laying down the smack on your monkey crab, candy coated ass," or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah.
So
I remember
good, man. So good. I think he used it twice. And we were so happy, like me and my friend Jay, when he came out to it, maybe Raw. I was like, "Oh yes, that's a new music." And I even back then I knew that wasn't gonna be permanent. It was probably just gonna be like a one-time thing to promote the Volume 4 or something like that album. But yeah, that was such a good song, man.
Yeah, at first I was gonna postpone this particular episode because uh, when you said that you were gonna quiz me, I thought you were going to quiz me by like actually playing the songs. But I don't know if for copyright issues, if that would have been an issue. But I didn't prepare myself because I wanted to actually like play the song. I don't know how I would have done that. Maybe through my Alexa. Yeah, to actually play the song and like hear it out and just listen to it for a little bit. But yeah, I
The-
think what we're doing, huh?
So like after this, we'll get to the quiz part, but I feel like what you had in mind just then, that's too easy for you. Like if I were to actually play the song, I think you'll get it right away. What makes this challenging for the quiz part, I think, is the part where I don't play the song, I'll hum it. And based
Oh,
on my
okay.
humming, on base of the melody, you have to figure out what it is.
Okay, so we haven't done the quiz yet.
Not yet.
Okay, all right, cool.
Okay, so what did I say? Okay, The Rock. Okay, so that's my top 5 underrated entrance theme. So now we'll get to the quiz part. Okay, I'm gonna
Ah,
hum 5 music, and you're gonna have to
okay.
guess what it is. Okay.
Okay.
Some
Yep.
of some of these are hard. Some of them really easy. Okay.
Okay.
First one. Dun 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 dun
Owen
dun.
Hart.
Yes. Good job.
Yep.
Good job, man. That was his music as the King of Hearts, right?
Yep. WrestleMania 10 opening
Yeah.
match. Uh, the beginning. Doom, 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 doom,
Yeah.
you know?
Woo!
Yeah.
I love that, man. So good. That's one of the songs I would like hum all the time too as a kid. Like bringing
Yes.
my action figures to the ring, my Owen
Yeah.
Hart
Oh
action
my
figure.
goodness. Oh,
So
that's
good,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, that's exactly one of the themes. Yes, yes. I would always hum. Oh, I wish he's one wrestler I wish I would have met. I've mentioned it on here. Him and
Yeah.
Yokozuna, him and Yoko are two wrestlers I wish I would have met.
Well, now AEW is doing that Owen tournament, which is really cool, right?
Yeah.
Really
Yes,
awesome.
yes.
Okay, here's another one. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Okay, here's the beginning. Uh, uh, uh.
Oh, Vader.
Yeah.
Bro, I was gonna say like what you were humming before
Yeah.
you stopped. I was gonna say Vader.
Yeah. Man, I love this music too, man.
Yep,
He
yep,
kind of has like
yep.
the Green Mountain guy.
I missed that. I was gonna change my answers, but yeah, he actually had two good themes: WCW and WWF. If you listen to his WCW theme when he was feuding with Ric
I haven't seen
Flair
it. Oh.
and Ron Simmons, and he
Mm.
would come out with
With
this.
Mastodon?
Yeah. I don't know if he did that in WWE
No.
or WWF,
No.
but WCW he would do that and come out with that thing like the shoulder pads with the mask. Then he would put it on the ground, and then he would look at it, and
Yeah.
he would do like that, and then
Yeah.
like there would smoke come
Coming out
out.
of the helmet, right?
Yeah. But like his WCW was almost like dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun, dun.
cool. All right.
Yeah, it was very like dun, 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 dun. Like it was
I love it.
very scary, very scary. So
So good.
both things of Vader were good.
I love that, man. Okay. So far, you're doing great. Third one. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Sound familiar?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. You got
Damn
this.
it,
You got this. Come on. Come on.
man.
It does sound
I
familiar though,
can't.
right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah. I can't get it.
Okay, give up.
Yeah.
Sting.
Oh, Sting, the Dark Sting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I couldn't get that. I couldn't get that. Yeah, that was Dark Sting.
Yep. Like the first version of the Dark Sting in WCW
Yeah,
arcade.
yeah. If you would have done didn't you like the blonde Sting or the Dark Sting?
Dark Sting.
Yeah, I like the blonde Sting. Now, if you would have hummed his blondness, I think that would have worked.
Okay. Yeah. Um. Okay, this isn't part of the trivia, but I always thought that WCW did a pretty good job capturing the feeling of Hulk Hogan's "I'm a Real American," right? Because it wasn't the same. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't equal to like "I am a real American," but WCW's version was "He's American man." He's American man, and like like it still had that upbeat good guy vibe to it, but not like I agree, not as good as WWF, but they did a pretty good job doing the bootleg version of
Yeah, I agree.
that. Okay, fourth one. Bum 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 bum.
Oh, Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Yes,
Yeah,
Blue Blood.
yeah,
Good job, man.
yeah. So that's like 3 for 1, right?
Yeah. So how many? I'm trying to like one. Yeah, you're right. Okay, fourth one. Disco fever, disco
Oh,
fever,
come on, that's easy.
disco fever. Yeah.
Disco Inferno.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, come on. If I can't get that, then I'm not a fan.
Right.
I'm not a fan. But Disco Inferno, come on, that's easy, bro.
Okay. How about this one? Okay, so that was four. Was that four? Let me see. One, two.
I feel that was 5, but if you got more.
Okay, I got one. It's not really this is only the first part of the song. What?
Oh, Al Snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Al Snow, man. Come on.
That was good,
Yeah.
man. As a kid,
Yeah,
I didn't
love it.
understand it.
I love it.
Yeah. I didn't understand it as a kid. I was like, why would everyone want
Wait,
head?
you didn't understand it? I understood it.
Not me, because I thought he literally was referring to his head mannequin. You know,
Yeah.
at that time, I was like, I didn't know the term, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I knew it was something not right.
Okay. Did you hear though? Like even back then, Al Snow, like '98, the WWF, like Jack Pacific actually took out his action figures because it had the head. All right, man. So you
I remember. Yeah, I remember when Al Snow at a tryout years ago said that you're not going to get anywhere in wrestling by just being big.
Wow. Yeah.
He told me that, but it was almost like he didn't appreciate my work, but I was very big, you know.
I see.
Meaning that he thought I was just a big guy that didn't want it, you know. I was just a big guy, you know. So I proved him wrong, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
You never forget, you know. I won't forget things that people said to me.
Yeah. I heard stories of Johnny Gargano saying that Buff Bagwell talked to his dad and said, "Your son will never make it in the wrestling business."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And at that time, like he was just starting out, you know. They worked a house show. I mean, they worked like an indie show together, and like Marcus Bagwell said that to Johnny Gargano's dad, like he'll never make it. And and Johnny said it on a WWE documentary. So there you go.
Yeah, that's why I just keep my comments to myself, you know?
Yeah. All right, man. So you passed. Before we wrap it up, on the top of your head, I would love to test my knowledge. So if you have any songs that you want to quiz me on, I want to see if I can get it. Even just one. Just give me one.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. You better. You're gonna make a big mistake. Dun, dun,
dun, God.
Dun, 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 dun. You better run. You're gonna make a big mistake. I can't run.
Oh, wait.
Today is gonna be your judgment day.
Oh.
Dun, dun,
Biker
dun.
Taker?
Yep.
Yeah, hell yeah. Okay. Whoa. Oh, yes. Yep. Okay, good. All right.
What was it? Did I give you, because I don't even know if that's how the lyrics went.
Yeah.
But judgment, something judgment day?
Yeah, something like that. Wow, that was a hard one, man, because he had 3 songs. The American Badass, and then the Rollin'.
Oh, yeah, you would have gotten that. The Rollin'.
Yeah, you're right. The one that you just sang, that was his last one as the American Badass. Oh, yeah. Proud of myself for that one.
You should be because well, I'm pretty good at imitating stuff.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself that you got it.
Yeah.
What should I do? Another one?
Okay, let's do another one.
Dun, 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 yeah, Mr.
I
Perfect.
love Mr. Perfect, man.
Yeah, yep.
The first time I saw Mr. Perfect was when he had that feud with Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And at that time, you know, as a 9-year-old, I didn't know that he used to be a wrestler until they played a flashback of him wrestling when he was supposed to have that match against Hunter on Raw. And that was supposed to be his comeback match. And of course, that turned out to be a screw job for Wild Man Mark Merrow. But I remember, like, as a kid, when I thought this whole thing was a shoot, I remember like, man, like, since his name is Mr. Perfect, that means during his wrestling days, he never lost. Like he never lost a match because he must have had a perfect record, you know? So yeah, that was cool. Good one. That was a good one, man.
Oh, that was a good one? Oh,
yeah.
Good.
I was trying to think of another one for you. Okay. Dun 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 dun.
What? The Ultimate Warrior?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. That's easy. Well, you were doing it kind of fast, though.
How does it go? How does the tempo go?
I think it was like.
Oh, you're right. You did it better. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. But that's good. That's good. I'm glad I got that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, you got one last one. You got one for me?
Yeah, this is fun. Wait, hold on. You'll probably have to cut this delay.
That's all right.
I'm trying to see. Okay. Do 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 do. It was like a heartbeat. He's from ECW, but he came over to WWE.
Oh, Taz.
I gave it away.
That was good though. You're right. When he had the whole 13 thing, yeah.
Yeah, because Steiner had the siren, right? But he had the heartbeat.
You're right. You're right.
When he made his debut with Kurt Angle,
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just off the top of my head. That's all I knew the first 5 seconds. But yeah.
Okay, this is the last one, and I think you'll get it.
Okay.
Not trying to be like anybody. What to be. Not trying to be like anybody. Leave. Cause I'm with the mind. My time is on. My time.
What is that? What was that? Triple H's like old, like
his first solo after DX.
Yeah, his first. Yeah. I remember that.
With China.
Yeah.
Good job, man. And it goes. You're gonna start with you want this song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's like funny, like these theme songs have an opening, but I didn't realize it. That's well, after doing this for so long and being an artist and being a performer, that's why I wanted it's time to go to work. Everyone can relate to that, and then when people hear that, they know that's me coming out. So yeah, you got to have that hook in the beginning. You know what I mean?
It was a fad for a while when, I think The Rock was the first one to do it, but then after that, people just started using it. I like Owen Hart, man, the whole enough is enough, and it's time for a change. Like when he was in the Nation Domination, and he had the whole I am not a nugget, in the middle of his song. So a lot of people use that platform.
Yes, it's so important to hook the people. You got the first 5 seconds, you got to hook them, and a lot of these theme songs do it, including mine.
Yeah, especially yours, actually. Well, man, this has been such a fun game. Me and my friend would always do this, as when we were kids.
Oh, Mike?
Hey, who's this? Hey, who's that? And we just hum it and try to get it.
Who,
Jay,
Mike?
My friend Jay, the one that you met.
Oh, the one that's married that I like?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Him. So
that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's It's been such a fun game. You did really good. I feel like we're in the same
You did too.
level,
Yeah.
you know, to our fandom, to our wrestling fandom. You know our reach.
No, not really. You're the professor. You always know a little bit more. You definitely bring it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys like about this podcast. And with that said,
Hey, baby, block the hate and salute the great Arnold Telega art to never forget and always remember, baby.